We begin in France, where the city of Marseille was shaken for a third day of riots by football fans. Police say several were injured in clashes among French, Russian, and English fans. For more, we're going to turn to CCTV's Kate Parkinson in Paris. Kate, what happened?
Well, yes, as you said, another day of violence in Marseille. 3 days now we've seen violent clashes with football hooligans fighting in the streets. And all of this before Marseille even saw its first game being played. Kickoff was just a few moments ago between England and Russia. But for 3 days now, we've seen hooligans, English fans, Russian fans, French fans, fighting with each other in the street. Really shocking scenes. One man, reportedly an England fan, said by local media to be fighting for his life as a result of tonight's violent clashes. We've seen the French police baton charging fans, firing tear gas into the crowd, fans throwing bottles at each other and the police, hurling chairs that they've yanked out of restaurant terraces. Really very distressing scenes, certainly not the image of the Euro 2016 football tournament that organisers UEFA want to portray. They have condemned the violence, and certainly these scenes are raising fears that we could be seeing a return to the very dark days of football hooliganism. And really, it's the very last thing the French police need to be dealing with at the moment. There is, of course, a very real terror threat that is still ongoing here in France, and the Euro 2016 tournament has been identified as a likely terrorist target. So really, brawling football hooligans in the streets of Marseille are the last thing the French police need to be dealing with right now.
Unbelievable pictures, Kate. Tell us, France is also facing multiple strikes, including Air France, which is actually likely to affect these EuroCup games.
Well, yes, another day, another strike here in France. It's becoming a very familiar story as the government faces mounting criticism for their labour reforms. This time, it is the pilots' union that has gone on strike. It's caused the national airline Air France to cancel 1/5 of their flights today. This strike is scheduled to last for 4 days. So yes, it is likely to cause some disruption to the Euro 2016 tournament. But in a bid to minimise disruption, Air France has said that it will prioritise flights to cities which are hosting tournament matches. But it's certainly very embarrassing for the French government. They've been plagued by weeks of strikes, protests, demonstrations, violent clashes in the streets, which have led to industrial action, which has led to panic at the pumps, most recently garbage rotting in the streets of France. It's really a terrible image for the host nation, and certainly something that the French president, François Hollande, hopes will not ruin the football tournament. But there was some good news for the host nation, France. They won their opening match last night, 2-1 against Romania.